Oh no. Oh no, the big boy is coming! And look at the battle in the distance. That is not good. That is not good. The Lord of the Rings Total War Remastered is here, allowing you to play both the story-driven campaign and also a sandbox campaign in the Battle of the Third Age in Middle-earth. This mod comes with completely new rosters for several different factions, new reworks to buildings, many events, and even, as I said, a really cool story-driven campaign, which will have text-to-speech giving you advice on how to progress to the next chapter and move forward. Yes, the mod is finally here. Over a year in the making, and the modders have spent countless hours building up the map, adding in hundreds of new settlements, as I said, rosters, buildings, story-driven events, and tons more. So if we go ahead and click on the new game section, we'll take a look at a few of the brand new features, and of course I'll leave a link to it down below in the description. If you guys maybe want to see a mini stream campaign or just some more battles on this mod, let me know down below in the comments, and obviously by dropping a like. Also, we are currently closing in on 200,000 subscribers, so if you could go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you enjoy the content and help us get that a little bit closer, I would really appreciate it. We are very close, and maybe at 200k we'll do something special, so stick around for that. So we have two campaigns. I'm not entirely sure the differences between them. The War of the Ring does have a much larger roster than the original Third Age Tales. However, I've gone ahead and dived into both of them, and I'm struggling to exactly see the complete difference between them, so we'll just stick with the War of the Ring for now because it does have access to a lot more factions, and I'm sure you guys can let us know down below in the comments, and I'll pin it or something so people can see the exact difference. But as you can see, we have access to a ton of factions, from the Free People of Middle-earth that starts you off as Frodo and Sam, and this is the story-driven campaign, which will have tons of missions, and you'll basically follow the missions of Frodo and Sam and the Fellowship as you progress, get into battles, have to complete quests, and all the time you'll be getting told by the advisor exactly what to do and kind of how to progress to the next story. It's actually a really cool way, and have tons of different kind of custom story events all pop up, and you'll have to progress through them. Of course, you have Gondor, Rohan, Mordor, Isengard, the usuals, or Rabbles, the Orc Rabbles, which will be a kind of currently situated in the Misty Mountains, and the mountains in the middle of Middle-earth. The forces of Gundabad, you have the Men of the East, the Haradrim, the Wicked Men of the South, as they call it, the Elves, and there are several Elven factions you can mess around with, and then also several Dwarven factions as well, which will all give an interesting campaign map. In the original Third Age Tale, you do actually have, I think, a lot access to a lot less. So I'm not sure if this is like the original mod, because again, there were original mods for the original Rome Total War. So maybe this is kind of like the original setup, whereas this is more of a new one. Again, you guys will let me know down below in the comments. But if we load up into a campaign and skip back, because we do not want to get copyright stricken, you guys will see how the story progresses, and we'll kind of take a look at a few of the factions and some interesting starts that the mod does have to offer. So as you dive into this, you'll go ahead.
This campaign tries to follow as far as this game allows.
So as you go, you'll go ahead and get told by the advisor.
His first objective is to reach the Old Forest without being captured.
So yeah, basically you'll go ahead and be told how the story works. She'll basically run you through everything, and you'll be advised on how to do certain stuff and how to avoid combat. And as you guys see, you know, Frodo's first mission is to kind of get his way out here without being caught in combat. However, we were caught by a Nazgul and killed. So it's going to take some progressing, and like you'll have to really kind of think about it and like how to get past all these Nazgul. I imagine going kind of avoiding the forest. But as you can see, like these were sit in ambush. It's all very much story driven, and there'll be lots of situations like this where you'll have to navigate it and try your best. And this is the Free Peoples of Middle-earth campaign, so you'll be playing as like the Bree soldiers. You'll have access to, you know, kind of the Numenorians, and yeah, kind of like the Dunedain, sorry, not the Numenorians. And again, each of these guys do have their own stuff, and I'm sure there'll be story events later on down the line as you make it closer to Mordor, where you'll probably get, you know, access to a lot more other rosters and other stuff. But yeah, here we go. This is the campaign map. If we take a big look at it, as you can see, there are so many more settlements on here. I believe in the original Rome Total War, there's something like 50-60 settlements. As you can see, there are a lot more of them in this. This campaign map goes ahead and ranges over the hundreds, and you can just see in Gondor alone, there is so many. You got Rohan to the north of you, which adds in a lot of flavor. If we take a look at a few of the units up here as well for the Breelanders, you know, obviously up in Bree and the rest of the Free People, You can see that the access for soldiers they'll be having on their command. Tons of buildings to go ahead and build up and get access to. Not exactly going to be a professional army. And you do have Hobbiton as well, so you can go ahead and raise yourself up some glorious hobbits and take them to battle to dominate the forces that do go up against you. Throughout all of this as well, you will have more missions to do as well. So for example, right now, again, we're playing with 3 people, more of a story-driven campaign. You'll see that, you know, our mission is to go ahead and take the Burrow Downs, and we'll go ahead and gain some bonuses through that. But not only that, of course, we do also have the Fellowship of Ring story, which will progress on. So that's loaded in as Gondor, and we'll take a look a little bit more about their start. So as loading in as Gondor, you'll be able to see the lands you start off with. You actually start off with a handful of custom characters as well. Gandalf, Aragorn, Faramir, Denethor, all of these strong soldiers, and also the Army of Dead. When Aragorn enters a certain region, you actually get access to them as well. So there's loads of these really cool kind of lore features embedded in the game, which is absolutely awesome. You also have access to kind of a bunch of these kind of like more like fortress cities as well. I like the way that they've kind of shown this off. I think it looks really cool and a nice way of doing it. Same up here in Aphelion as well. You'll have access to that. And yeah, you'll have access to a bunch more custom events as well. So for example, you'll have the choice of actually changing the color of your walls. The outer walls of Minas Tirith are made in Númenórean stone, which is of course black. You see that in over here as well, obviously in Minas Morgul. Again, they have the black walls, so you can actually choose whether or not you want to keep it or if you want to change it. I actually just clicked no, I should have clicked yes, and then that will change the colors of the walls, so you'll actually be able to see that. I think that's also in battle as well, so there's a lot of small details like that, and you can really choose it. Again, if I end the turn really quickly and we let by all the other factions, again, we'll get a bunch more events as we go forward, and we'll be able to see you know, whether or not we want to keep good and evil. So for example, we immediately get asked, do we want to keep good and evil? Do we want to make it so that, you know, it's good versus evil, or do we want to change it so that the Gondor can go and conquer Rohan? Do you want more of a sandbox style campaign? And again, I really love these options in this because you know, it's super cool to be able to maybe you've already done a good versus evil, and this time you want to maybe be just the evil elves or something, and you want to kind of flip it over and join the forces of evil. That is something that you definitely can do. For Minas Tirith, they get access to a lot of decent units here. All the Gondorian sword infantry straight off the bat. You even have custom diplomats as well as other infantry, and of course juicy goddamn spy and the Gondor yeoman archers, looking really nice. If we were to maybe progress down here in the south, down into Dol Amroth, that will of course give us access to some pretty deadly ships that will be able to move in, and you'll be able to progress on with the Knights of Dol Amroth, and I imagine Knights of the Silver Swan will be a very deadly force later on down the line. However, over into the east, there are a lot of rebel towns you'll have to conquer and push back, and same along the coastline of the Anduin as well. You'll of course have to deal with them and you know, kind of push up your border. But of course, whilst you do push up your border, the evil men of the south, or the wicked men of the south is what they call it, will also be pushing on this. So again, it's going to be really, you know, how much can you spare? Can you send forces forward to conquer all these rebel towns and these like kind of minor rebellions and stuff, whilst you're contending with the forces of Mordor, who are going to be coming at Aziliath immediately, looking to you know, throw down Faramir's rule and destroy him. Also, of course, as you can see, there's loads of custom models in the mod as well. And if we go over to like the Hornburg as well, yeah, over in Helm's Deep, you can see Helm's Deep as well. And there are a lot of cool custom maps as well, which we'll take a look at in a second. So let's just quickly load in as Mordor so you guys can see a bit of an evil perspective. Then we'll probably move on to a few other maps, and then maybe we'll have a battle at the end of the video. So with the Mordor campaign, again, you do go ahead and equip yourself with a bunch of pretty strong soldiers. You start off with Sauron, but he can't move until he gets the One Ring. So there is just, you know, this ultimate being waiting to be pushed forward, which is really exciting. And again, to go ahead and capture it, you have to go ahead and capture the character with it. It will be like an ancillary that you'll have to go ahead and find, pin down, and claim that treasure. So it's a real nice way of doing it. And then you just use the treasure swap feature, which I believe is actually in the original game, which you can go ahead and then do to be able to give it to him. So it's really cool. You also get access to the Witch King, and who's mounted on a fell beast. So there is actually a, mounted characters on this. So you'll have dragons, and there is Sauron. Oh, that's just a spy. That's the Eye of Sauron. Oh my god, that's so cool. Man, I love the way they've done that. It's really cool. So it's basically just the eye watching down, and you're just moving the eye around. Man, that is goddamn amazing. There's this also Shelob right here as well, who's an assassin. You can send that out. That is really cool. They've done a really cool job with that. It's a nice way of doing it right off the bat. Of course, you'll have access to your own custom buildings, plenty of different models for that, which will all give you bonuses and progress up your campaign. The mines, Mordor is actually a pretty heavy industry-focused faction, and if you get your mines going early, you'll be rich beyond belief, which is very cool as well. You have a Mouth of Sauron as well. I like that a ton. And of course, Sauron can't move out of here is the Plentier, which will give him several bonuses. I can't imagine there'll be many rebels. And yeah, building up your army and pushing them out to take the free people of Middle-earth is going to be super important. And of course, you'll have missions as well to push out, and of course, custom ones as well, which will progress on also. So yeah, using the Foul Beast and the other characters, yeah, you have the Witch King right here, one soldier, and he'll be on his Foul Beast, which will allow him to mount up and give his armies the ability to force march as well, which is super cool. So he can progress that. And there's these little details like that which I think add in a ton to the game, just kind of adding in a lot of really cool stuff. And again, you can see a lot of the factions. You will have to move around and build watchtowers as well. So that's going to be something you're going to have to focus on in the early game, I would imagine, is pushing out and actually building them watchtowers scattered around the campaign map. And obviously going after Boromir and the rest of the boys is going to be pretty important. You'll be Uruk-hai hunting them down right now at Amon Hen, so that's pretty cool indeed. Now, let's jump into a battle. We'll see a few more of the units up close and personal. Definitely a lot of really cool factions, and I love the way the campaign is designed. Like these small details like this, just kind of show you that, this is going to be a dope-ass campaign. Oh, something to note as well is that the mod itself does have all these cool custom fellowship battles and other engagements that you can go ahead and mess around with if you want to. So you have the last March of the Ent, where you get to play as a full Ent army. You got the ambush of the Mumakil with the Dunedain, taking down all these custom creatures. The Ford of the River Eisen, where I believe that's where the Prince of Rohan does end up getting slain, or at least mortally wounded. The Battle of the Last Alliance as well, which again looks so goddamn cool. Yeah, really, really awesome. Even the Battle of Weathertop as well. So yeah, the mod does also have a bunch of cool custom stuff. So let's just load into the Battle of the Last Alliance, for example. And again, you guys can see some of the awesome models and the battles, which are really, really cool. So this battle does, give you on the slopes of Mount Doom as you're fighting away, trying your best to defeat the enemies, and you guys can get a nice little look at some of the units right now. So as the battle starts, as you can see, the enemy are fierce and they are pushing on. So you're going to definitely be up against it with the sheer hordes of the enemy. But here we'll be able to take a look at some, if we pause it right now, we're going to take a look at some of the units right off the bat. And again, the models look really good. Like, that's one of the things that I think Rome Remastered does amazingly, is like the close-up models. Like, yeah, considering Rome in general is such an old game, like a 20-plus-year-old game, like, this looks really good, and the models have done a majorly impressive job at taking advantage of these units. And again, the faces, I think, look really goddamn good. And yeah, close-up battles of this game are actually really, really impressive. They definitely are. And again, the armors look really good. And also the custom models for the heroes as well. So if we go over to Elrond as well, you'll be able to see his unit and his equipment right there. Yeah, Elrond, I mean, looks pretty goddamn good, I'm not gonna lie. And then we have Elrond's father as well, who I believe dies at this battle, right? And then Elrond takes the reins, if I'm not mistaken. So that again looks really, really cool. Let's maybe just get some good cool fighting really quickly, and we'll take a look. Obviously my archers need to be holding the line and just firing in. We'll stick the spearmen off to the flank. I mean, again, it does really depend as well what our main boys do. Oh, also as well, how amazing is it that in Rome Remastered you can do this? You can move the entire formation around. Holy crap, that is pretty amazing. Let's also go ahead and take a look at some of the other units, and you can also turn off firing arcs. Yeah, I don't need to see that. Cool. You can also take a look at some of the orcs as well. So some of the orc rabble moving forward in their armor. The sheer hordes of them look atrocious. Again, we can turn off this as well. Make it a bit more cinematic. Look at that as we just move through their ranks. Oh my god, mounting the top as well. That is so cool. And even some, like, look at that as well. There's like heads on the armor. That's really, really nice. I am a big fan of that. And then you have the big boy himself back here. holding firm. I imagine he is not an easy foe to break, that is for sure. Do they have any trolls as well scattered throughout their formation? I don't know if they do in this battle, which is a bit unfortunate. The archers are firing in, and there you go. The men of Arnor are fighting hard. Oh, we're actually on slow-mo right now as well. We've got the elves as well. Talahai! Talahai! Let's move our way forward. Go support our allies. The archers are firing as well. This is, I believe, on a smaller unit scale as well. I say that actually. They have 250. So, again, I would assume they're on defense. They're on guard mode. Boys, don't get on guard mode. Just get yourself stuck in. We've just got some orc rabble to kill. As you can see, the elven unit rosters are much smaller than their orc counterparts. There's 200 in the orc units, whereas the elves have only 80. They're going to be wielding that much more elite line. It's charging these guys as well. Oh, nice little charge there into the flank of the orc rabble. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Holy crap. That looks incredible, right? Like, look at the smoke, the fog. As the battle just progresses, if we slow down the camera a little bit, is that how you slow down the camera? I don't know how you slow down the camera in Rome Remastered. Oh no. Oh no, the big boy is coming! And look at the battle in the distance. That is not good. That is not good. He is marching towards. This is so awesome. I love the way they've created this. Really impressive stuff. You've got to give them props. Like, but all these like mini scripts and stuff that kind of add in the extra flavor is awesome. And you just press escape to get rid of that. And we go back to the battle. And you even have the archers up on the slopes of Mount Doom as well, looking down. Like, man, they've really knocked out of the park with this. They really have. All the archers firing in as well. And one of the great things about Rome Remastered is, in general as a game, regardless of the AI being kind of trash, is like they have a lot of options that you can turn off stuff. You know, there's a lot of things here that you can switch off. Like, you know, these things right here are absolutely disgusting. So the fact that you can just turn them off. Same with like the unit firing arcs, you can hide foliage, the unit banners as well. You can like click them off as well if you don't want to see that. If you want to go fully cinematic, but again, I think the banners look great. Really cool stuff as the battle does progress on. I mean, so far, I think the Orcs are doing a very nice job. Yeah, they start off with over 10,000 soldiers. 10,000 versus the Last Alliance is intense as they continue to push on. But I mean, their numbers are dropping dramatically as the big boy does make his way in. I imagine killing him will be a pain in the ass, to say the least. But yeah, that's going to be a look at the battles. I don't want to make this video too long, so let's just take a look at a few of the custom settlements now, and then we'll wrap up the video. So as you can see, there are currently several different siege maps in the game. We're from Erebor, Moria. We have the lands of the Elves of Lothlorien, Rivendell. We have Dol Amroth, Minas Tirith, Osgiliath, Hobbiton, and also, you know, the lands of the dwarfs, the lands of the Black Lands of Mordor, the Black Gate, Dol Guldur, Orthanc, and finally Minas Morgul, and a few custom ones which I don't really know. Oh, did not mean to click that, which are still probably under development, of the old classic grassy flatlands. And you can see all the other different kind of custom maps that have been made for this mod as well. So it's a pretty extensive amount of maps, and you know, stuff will just be added more and more so as the mod gets more and more onwards. But you can go play this right now. Link to it is down below in the description. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.